Okay, so last video, or the video before that, I talked about Joseph, and I'm going to talk about Abraham and take it back before Isaac. Okay, so basically what happened is Abraham has a vision from God. He gets treated unfairly everywhere he goes. He gets ripped off till he makes it to Egypt, where he has to pretend his wife is his sister. Okay, fine. Now, it's important to note that when they were first given land by the Pharaoh, it was in the delta region of Egypt, which doesn't prove anything because this is where the newcomers went. And I'd also like to draw to your attention that it should be a map from Tour Egypt. Here we go. During the time of the Hyksos, the Egyptians ruled Israel, and before that as well. The ancient land of Canaan was always governed by the Egyptians. And when the Bible talks about Joseph, it tells you that the Arabs who descend from Ishmael are the traders, not the Egyptians who had the empire. They were the black people until the Hyksos came around 1800 BCE. And then later on, around 1200 BCE, you had the reign of Ramses II, Ramses the Great. And remember, one of his wives, he had many wives. One of his wives was Nefertari. Let me see if I can find you her picture real quick. And he built many things, including two temples at Abu-Simbel, his hospital hall at Karnak, mortuary complex Abydos, Colossus of Ramses at Memphis, additions to the Luxor Temple, and the famous Ramseum. So his reign was 1279 to 1213 BCE, so around 1200 BCE. Now, it's important to notice that he took many wives, and that one of his wives was Nefertari. And here's one image I got off Tour Egypt about of Nefertari with Isis. And here is a picture. Okay, you have Ramses and Seti. They pretty much descend from the same bloodlines, and they look the same. Ramses II. Here's another map. Oh, no, I showed you this map where we had the Hittite Empire. So they also say that the Egyptians weren't interested in the Hittite Empire. They're interested in the Nubian Empire and in Canaan. This also solidifies my point that they're black, and they felt the same way I did about the other races. Here's another image to show you how the different wives of Pharaoh may have been different races from different conquered peoples, and that just proves my point about how the bloodline was mixed. But the servants were always the native Egyptian black people. So the Arabs are in their place below Canaan in Saudi Arabia, just like in Israel. They're below Israel in Palestine. So they're in their place. The Asians are in their place. The Hittites are in their place. From Asia Minor, and the Europeans, they're in their place. Megaliths, Yellow River, Kush Empire for the Indians, the dark-skinned Indians. So everybody's in their place, and the Igbos are in Nubia, and they will migrate to Nigeria and become the people there and add to the native tribes there. The Igbos are a bunch of tribes who migrated to Nigeria in ancient time. The Nubians migrated to join them, and then the Jews migrated to join them. Their mix gave you the Nubian, Igbo, Nigerian mix that is Jewish mix that is me. Gad, Naphtali, and Judah, as well as a small mix of some other tribes. Obviously, we're related to all the Jews all the way to Abraham. So that's how I'm related to Abraham. That's how I'm a descendant of Abraham, a descendant of the Igbos, and a descendant of the Nubians, like Kashtapai and Shabak as well. Now, when you talk about, let me show you that, that Ramses, when you're talking about the wives he had, and you're talking about the wives other people had, some of them are Hittite wives. Some of them are Nubian wives. There's different races in the mix, but when you're talking about the race of the ancient Egyptians, they're black. They're black and they're mixed black. And some of the wives are foreigners who want to steal our knowledge. Just like to this day, they're stealing our resources and they're taking credit for our ancient history as well. Now, I'm sick of seeing these women that, they made the mistake by getting... So women were the instrument of the devil. They were the other races that the white man used to infiltrate and steal the knowledge of Africa. And to this day, some of the white women who marry black men are really agents of Freemasonry who want to steal the knowledge. And some of them are just daughters of rich people like Tiger Woods' wife who want to bring down great black men as well. And that, they pretend like they're sincere. They pretend like, oh, we love you. Remember, they always pretend to love you. That's what Satan's trick is. They pretend to love you. And I'm going to go over these names real quick. For those of you who might have looked away, just help you remember some of these names. Memphis, P. Ramses, Heliopolis is right there in the Delta region of Egypt. And over there, you have Sil, right by Canaan. Then you get Gaza. Remember the Gaza Strip. And you go on, you get the Megiddo, Tyre, Sidon, Byblos, Simra, Tunip, Ugarit, Orontes. Now remember, Ramses took, he had a lot of consorts, a lot of family trees. And remember that a lot of the history behind Egypt, and a lot of the idea that he's not an African comes from the Freemasonic temples who want to tell their sons and daughters who are Masons and in the different factions, because some females are allowed in the Masonry as well, and they want to tell them under their female lodges, they want to tell them that their stories that they're telling them are really of white people, not of black Africans. So these stories are meant for black Africans, told by black Africans, but stolen by white people and being told by white people as if they're white people in the story, which is not true. Ramses would have said, no, white man, you can't even pronounce my name. User Ma'at Resete Penra. Or Penra. So, they can't even say the motherfucker's name. They don't know about the pyramids of Unas, the Serapeum. They don't know about Prince Kamwese, who was the high priest of Ptah, where Egypt gets his name. They don't know nothing about this. Okay, the bloodline of the black man is Egypt. Everybody else is a foreign imposter who should be shot after tortured violently for years. Thank you.